Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we are diving into the blessings and highest energies coming forward for the month of December for you, as well as Sagittarius season. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful Kindred Spirits, and anyone new who may be joining us here on the channel today. It's always wonderful to have you guys here. Thank you for joining me. Today we are looking into your month of December, the biggest energies, the blessings, all of the information, and we're also going to be looking into Sagittarius season, so happy birthday to anyone who's Sagittarius out there. And if you aren't Sagittarius, that's okay. It's still going to apply to you as it's a season we are all experiencing. We're going to be diving into each of the piles here in a moment, so you could really dive into them. But before we do, I do want to let you know that any orders that I receive for snail mail readings, for custom charm casting cloths, or stamps are all going to be able to go through. I'm still going to be able to do those orders for you, but I won't be able to fulfill those orders until after January begins in the new year. Just because of the holiday season, it's just so busy. I want to be able to give my all toward your guys' readings. I want to put all of my energy and time and care into these, and I don't want to rush anything for you all. So if you're interested in a snail mail reading, in a custom charm cloth, or a custom stamp of your own for your particular art magic needs, then definitely feel free to reach out, as I would love to create those for you, but I will be doing it in January. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely feel free to reach out. I would love to create any or all of those, or to send a reading your way. But with that all said, I'm going to leave all the information for those down below through my Instagram, through the reviews I have over there, and my email, where you can send any questions that you have or information that you're seeking. So with that all said, let's go ahead and look at the piles here. So we have 3 different piles here today. Here for pile number 1, if you're feeling called to this one, it is from the Lapis Lazuli side of things. So if you're feeling called to this piece of Lapis Lazuli, that is pile number 1. Here for pile number 2, if you're feeling called to this one, it is with a piece of Snowflake Obsidian, with lots of little snowflakes here. So if you're feeling called to this piece of Snowflake Obsidian, then that is pile number 2. And last but not least, here for pile number 3 is a piece of Sodalite. So if you're feeling called to this piece of Sodalite, then that is pile number 3. But before you start heading off to the timestamps, I like to invite you to take a deep and cleansing breath here with me in just a moment, so you can really connect with your guides, so that you can connect with each of the piles, with the supplies, however you wish to use it. Let's go ahead and take that deep breath together here now. And as always, there's no rules to this. You can choose all 3 of the piles. You can take little bits and pieces from each of them. You can choose one pile and change your mind. There really are no rules. All the timestamps will be down below in the description, alongside the chapter marks of this video. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in a snail mail reading, a custom charm casting cloth for your charm set, or if you're interested in a little bit of art magic of your own with a custom rubber stamp of any guides that you work with, sigils that you love, or other particular symbols you use often, definitely feel free to reach out, as I would love to design that or send something like that your way. So with that all said, let's go ahead and get started here with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this piece of Lapis Lazuli, then this is the pile for you, as today we are going to be exploring your highest and biggest energies coming forward for the month of December, but we're also going to be looking into Sagittarius season, seeing where you might be exploring something new, or how you might be pointing your aim so that it will aim true moving into Sagittarius season. So if you are a Sagittarius out there, happy birthday to you. But even if you're not, this is still going to apply, as it's something that is an overarching message for the season. We're going to be doing all of these messages with the charms, as well as the different oracle decks, and the tarot deck of choice being the Under the Oak Tarot, which I just love. These beautiful winter backs. It's snowing outside right now. I can see it right out the window right in front of me, and it's gorgeous. So I'm in the wintry mood. Even though this isn't particularly a winter deck, the backs just give me winter feelings. So I felt called to it once again. So do feel free to get yourself cozy, get yourself settled. All of the information on the different decks and supplies that I'm using here today will be listed as always in the description down below, alongside the different offerings I provide and other things. So definitely feel free to have a little look. But today we are going to be looking into, to start off, 3 different messages, or 4 or 5, depending on how many cards show up, looking into the main energies coming forward for you for the month of December. So definitely feel free to send your energy in, get cozy, settled, and comfy, and we'll pull some for you. So, group 1 for the month of December. First off, you have the 5 of Wands. I love this 5 of Wands. It's so interesting because usually you see 5 sort of different figures sort of fighting and pushing against one another. But in this case, you can see how other people's energy can feed your own and then be able to grow something bigger than you'd be able to do on your own. So I really like how this kind of feeding energy kind of comes forward here, this idea of feeding off other people, other people's ideas, other people's perspectives, so that you can, grow your own and grow your own passions together. So there's something going on there where you guys are working together as a team. There's teamwork going on here. If it's not with other people, though, as we'll see as we get more information, it could also be just different facets of yourself too that are working together that don't normally. So let's go ahead and see more information on what it is you're building here with all of this fiery, passionate, driven energy. So you have here both the Hermit and the Star. Very interesting in like the color palette that we have here, like between the two energies, and both of them showcase like a star. In this case, the Hermit is holding sort of like an inner lantern, an inner healing that's going on here and kind of thrusting it outwards. And then over here in the stars are in the sky, and you're looking and reflecting outward. So there's like both inner and outer healing that's happening here. Maybe there's outward healing in the idea of like you actually are healing through like a physical ailment or something like that, or healing through a particular external situation that's going on outside of yourself. But you also have the Hermit energy, which showcases this is a time of year for you to be able to work on your inner self, work on your inner healing through a particular situation, whether it's through grief, which we can get sometimes with the Star because it follows after a difficult period of time. In this particular deck, the Star follows one of the cards that kind of breaks this oak into 2, and it showcases that there is healing, there is hope, even after really difficult situations, very life-changing and altering situations, where this tree is never going to grow the way that it did once before, but that doesn't mean that it isn't still going to be able to thrive and grow in beautiful and new, interesting ways. So there's something going on here where you are definitely healing, finding hope, growing through a particular situation, both internally and externally, with different situations that are going on. And maybe that's kind of fueling a bit of what's going on here. Maybe you're healing with other people at a particular group, like a meeting, group therapy, working with other people who have gone through similar situations, helping your community heal through a particular situation. Regardless, there's something going on here where healing is a community effort, or an effort in which different facets of yourself are also working together. Your home life, your family life, like you're not... This healing is very much branching out to multiple facets, and in doing so, you're kind of working together. Again, like if you weren't able to heal with others or heal with these other facets, then you wouldn't be able to heal as effectively. So it's helpful to be able to ask for help, to lean on other people, to find support, and to give that support to other people as well. And that continued effort, that reciprocity, that connection that you're building is going to be able to you continue to drive and move yourself forward beyond this particular more difficult phase or stage that you may be going through. So let's go ahead and look a little bit further, as I'd like to pull you a card to look into an energy most in your favor this month. And the more that I look at these cards too, right, we've got sort of a mountain goat energy and like more of a ghostly figure, or not ghostly, goatly figure that's going on here as well. So there could be a connection towards like goats and like mountain goats and the strength that they have to climb mountains and such, sort of to overcome particular hurdles. But also I feel like there could be a spirit guide working with you guys as well. So you could see this as a blessing from a particular spirit guide coming forward for you, or you could also see it as just an energy most in your favor, whatever you'd like to do. So let's go ahead and see what that energy is that is most in your favor or being blessed towards you this month by a particular guide of yours. So group 1, an energy most in your favor this month, group 1. Okay, ooh, prosperity. That's a really nice one to see with everything else you have here. And it's kind of interesting how they're like thrusting it towards this middle card, where everything is working together. Prosperity does not necessarily always mean money, but it can also represent like gifts or feeling prosperous in a particular emotion, feeling like a lot of hope, feeling an intense amount of joy, an intense amount of support. Whatever it is, you're feeling a particular, it feels more like a particular feeling or a particular like gifts or something like that that's coming forward from other people to give you some sort of support, and that being also shared back and forth, right? The prosperity is like a fountain and it comes back up and down. So there's this feeling too of like a shared support that is making both parties be more prosperous in the end. There's a lot of reciprocity happening here. We even have it shown in the star too, of them like pouring back in together. And another spirit guide feeling that's coming forward here again. I really feel like there is a spirit guide that's wanting to help you at this time. I have a couple of videos on spirit guides that you guys could check out, but if you'd be interested in me doing another one, let me know. Let's go ahead and see also what you have going on in terms of relationships. So we could look into this as a particular relationship that you'd like to send into the cards here today, but I'm going to be looking more overarchingly at the energy of relationships for you this month. Relationships with family, with friends, partners, with, support from others in your life here. Let's see. Okay, so you have compassion here, tread a little more tenderly. And you also have Azalea with temperance, find balance and be centered. So when I'm seeing these two together, first off, there's a lot of clustering that's happening here. So again, a continued support from multiple people. It's not like one particular flower working on its own here. So again, I keep feeling this feeling of something coming forward here where you are reaching out to a community, reaching out to other people, finding support in other people, and other people finding support in you. And by doing so, you're also using a place of compassion, understanding, coming from a place without judgment, going into this as a way to help center yourself, to ground yourself, to find community in which you can plant your toes. So there is like a really strong feeling with these cards of finding a feeling of finding yourself, but also finding others who can understand your situation and understand where you're coming from. So there is also that feeling too. And yes, there is healing happening here, but this also could be not necessarily related to the healing, although it's on both sides. It can also be just that it just happened to be healing, right? It's not like always like group therapy where you're going in for a particular situation. It could be that you're like with a bunch of cosplayers and just that particular group of people understand you and are helping you to be able to heal through a particular situation by happenstance and not necessarily because it was something you planned or you had hoped for. So there also is that kind of situation going on here, especially with that prosperity, like you kind of like just got the jackpot of these types of people being around you and surrounding you at this time. So let's go ahead and look at Sagittarius season before we pull some charms to get the final messages here. For Sagittarius season, Sagittariuses are very adventurous and driven individuals, and also I tend to think of like the idea of like an arrow, and it's aiming true towards your particular goal or desire, right? If they have their aim towards something, they're after it. And so I want to see where you are aiming your energy right now, or something you could be focusing on right now over Sagittarius season, something that's being highlighted for you. So let's see what that is for you, group 1. An energy being highlighted for you, group 1. Okay, so you got 2 cards lying out right here. You have the Gardens, Pause, Safety, Secrets, with 2 people feeling very safe in this space. And then you have the 4 of Thread, Loom, Boundaries, Community, and Responsibility. And the loom is all about weaving different people's perspectives together, but it all coming together as a whole, being stronger together. And so I really am feeling a stress towards that right now, of weaving yourself into the narrative, weaving yourself into a community. It really feels like you're the one reaching out. You're the one finding hope in this space. You're the one that is putting out the initiative, putting out the call here, especially with you reaching up, with the prosperity as well, reaching up. There's this feeling that you're outreaching your hand towards other people and hoping that they will also claim you back in that same way. And the idea of pause, safety, secrets, the garden, this feeling of safety and security and comfortability with other people, a feeling of a place where you can share all, is coming forward here as well with the gardens. Like, you've created a space and community of safety and like a safety net in which you can fall on. So if this isn't something you currently have in your life, it's something that you are pointing your aim towards, pointing your focus towards. And it also means shedding away people who do not fall in that, people who are putting in judgment, who are making you feel like you have to keep secrets, you have to hold yourself back, you have to mold yourself to fit into a particular community. So in this case, I feel like you are aiming yourself towards people who understand you and who you can also understand and find compassion and love towards. So really, really beautiful, your card so far. Let's go ahead and get those final details with the charms. Feel free to send your energy in as always, and I'll pull some for you. So here we go, group 1. My table here isn't always perfectly balanced, so sometimes these just like to roll. But you do have the heart chakra of compassion, of even sometimes the heart chakra is also a bridge to a spiritual connection as well. We tend to talk about the crown chakra a lot for that, but the heart chakra is also a place to find and bridge through the heart versus the mind. So I really like that that's coming up here over by the gardens. Again, feeling like a place where you can build really true connections. You also have over here dumping out with this particular charm, which is the charm of feeling overwhelmed, like you have too much to hold, too much bottling up, too much of anything, an emotion, a feeling, and it's bottling up, and you've run out of room, but it's dumping out. I just realized I haven't zoomed you guys in, but it's dumping out, and that's happening here with the inner healing, and you're dumping it out towards the gardens. So you're like bearing all, letting everything out, letting everything spill out that has been festering within you for a long while. Interestingly, too, you have the intuition charm of the bat, and you also have the charm of a spirit guide working in your favor. Whenever I see this one, it makes me think of like things happening behind the scenes that don't always make sense, weird coincidences, weird luck that just finds its way to you, things working out behind the scenes spiritually for you. And that's how I always see this. It's like you'll see the end goal, but like all of this has been happening behind the scenes from a spirit guide to help you work through something. So I really feel like someone has your back right now when it comes to a guide of yours, and they are helping and reaching out as well. So overall, those are all of the charms and cards that I have here for you, Group 1. I hope that this has been useful and helpful to you. And like I said, if you guys are interested in a more particular spirit guide reading or a particular reading where I dive deeper into your personal guide where you could get a snail mail reading, definitely feel free to reach out. The information on all the private readings that I do will be down below, so that's something you can check out over on my Instagram, where I send a letter to you in the mail. It's typewritten on a vintage typewriter, wax sealed closed for your eyes only, diving deep into any question you have. So if you want to dive deeper into the spirit guide, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, if you're interested in these pick a card readings, I put them out every single Monday, so definitely feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I also sprinkle in some educational content on charm casting and art magic, so feel free to check those out as well. And like I said, feel free to see all of the different offerings I provide, like the snail mail readings, but beyond the snail mail readings, I also like to create your own custom sigils or designs or spirit guides being placed into an art magic vessel for you, which is that of a hand-carved stamp, a rubber stamp that you can use over and over and over and over in your art magic, in your grimoires, in your own petitions and magic, however you wish to use them. Definitely feel free to reach out to me, as I would love to make those come to life for you. So with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and close off this reading for you. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, Group 2. If you decide to choose this piece of Snowflake Obsidian, then this is the pile for you. We are going to be looking into your month of December, seeing the biggest energies coming forward, the blessings or energies most in your favor this month. And we're also going to be looking into relationships as well as Sagittarius season. So Sagittarius season is very adventurous, and there's a lot of drive and passion. So I really want to see where that energy is being focused towards for you all. So this is going to be an overarching message for that entire season, but if you are Sagittarius, this is obviously going to apply to you as well, so happy birthday to all of you out there. But today we're going to be using the charms as well as several different oracle decks, and the tarot deck of choice being the Under the Oak Tarot, because it's snowing outside and it's so cute. Like, the backs of these just really give me wintry vibes. Plus, I love the illustrations of this deck, so I had to pull it out again here today. I can't help myself. So if you are ready, if you're settled, if you've got everything you need, then we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So feel free to send your energy in and get cozy if you weren't. Otherwise, all the information on these decks and supplies that I'm using here today, as well as the offerings that I provide for snail mail readings and others, will all be down below in the description in case you're curious. But let's go ahead and get started here. First, for you, Group 2, looking into the main energies coming forward. So, Group 2, the Magician coming forward. Look at that gorgeous big oak tree. So beautiful. There's even little leaves. There's little eyes in the leaves over here as well. Love this card so much. Feels really powerful in kind of a gentle way. A very strong, grounded way. Let's see what else is coming forward here with the Magician alongside. So Group 2 here, the month of December for Group 2. What's coming forward for the month of December for Group 2 here? The Ace of Swords as well. Love that. Beautiful card as well. Feels like a little hollow nook, like a little secret. And then you also have the Hierophant coming forward here as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous cards. Plus you have two major arcana cards with the Hierophant and the Magician coming forward here, which showcases that this is going to be a very powerful month, a month that has a lot of really big energies coming forward for you. It's not just the small everyday things that we're looking into. This is overarching energies that blend into multiple facets of your life. And so the fact that you got both the Hierophant and the Magician and the Ace of Swords shows a really, really strong start for your month for sure. The Hierophant is usually about an energy of learning, of wanting to continue to learn and grow and master yourself at something, but needing the help of a guide or a particular person in your life which could, lead you on that path. Whether that's a YouTube video with a bunch of tutorials and someone who is given a bunch of information, whether that's a class that you're taking, whether that's the learned experience that comes from, a grandparent or a father or a friend, whether that's, or even a child, right? There's a lot we can learn from children, right? So it can come from anyone really, but the point is that wherever this facet is, you are learning and growing from the experience and the skills and mastery of other people in order to continue to grow your own. And in terms of what that's related to, because you do have the Ace of Swords coming forward here, it could be related to something around writing, because the Ace of Swords and swords in general relate to writing, to the mind, to intellectual thoughts, to sharing and communicating. So this could be related to speech, to communication, to creative writing, to role-playing, to math, to science, to STEM programs, things like that. It could go lots of different ways dependent on your particular interests, but whichever one that you are already feeling quite excited about, because you do have this being an ace, which represents a seed in your mind. This tells me that this is something you are just beginning on. This is a new journey for you, or one that you are recently picking back up, coming forward for you right now, which is really exciting to see. And it feels, like I said, it feels like a little secret cove. So it kind of feels like something that's like a little secret for you. It's not something that you're sharing with everyone, or it's still very new and something you are being gentle with. Another thing that's coming forward here as well with the energies you have the Magician. And like I said, gentleness came forward with this particular card, but also a deep strength as well, a deep grounding feeling towards this. And the Magician represents, a lot of the time I find, resourcefulness, because I feel like we feel sometimes stuck, especially when we're starting new projects, that we have to have all the materials, all the things, all of the, like, if it was creative writing, like you need to have the perfect laptop, or you have to write on a vintage typewriter, and you have to do it all perfectly, and it has to be a perfect first draft. And right, there's this feeling of perfectionism, or wanting to do it right, or having the correct aesthetic, or the perfect tools. And I promise you, if you have the drive, if you have the excitement, if you have the passion, if you have the willpower to make something happen, you will make it happen. You are capable of doing it. Like when I wanted to start knitting, I did not have knitting needles. All I had was some really crappy yarn and some colored pencils. And I taught myself how to knit with a YouTube video, some colored pencils, and a little tiny ball of yarn. And that's all it takes, right? So there's certain things that you already have that are already in your clutches, whether that's something that's internal, like something that you are bringing from within, whether that's your tenacity, your excitement, your passion, your drive, your ambition, your goals, your desires, or if that's, or if that's also incongruent with the resources you do have available to you. Maybe they're not the perfect quality things, or the perfect things to get you started, or the best of the line, but you might have people around you who can bring a little bit more of that resource towards you, or can help you along that path. Or you might find that you already had something up in your attic, or down in your basement, or in that little cupboard that is a junk drawer, that you're like, oh, well, actually I do have some things I could use. I could maybe just get started today, and, just jumping on it. So there's something you're getting started on, you're learning, you're growing in with this, that's related to the Ace of Swords here, of STEM programs and all of that, more logic-based or writing and speech-based communication coming forward here, that you're growing your skills in, and you are capable of starting now. So really, really exciting. Loving your guys' energy here. It feels really fun. So let's go ahead and see what else you have coming in here from a blessing card. So this could be a blessing from a particular spirit guide that you work with, or would like to be working with, or you could also see this as an energy most in your favor as well, if you're not really interested in the spirit guide side of things. So let's go ahead and see what that energy is that's most in your favor this month. Group 2, an energy most in your favor. inspiration. That makes so much sense with everything that we've already talked about here. And that you have this inspiration, this desire, this tenacity, this want, this ambition that is coming forward here, and it's coming forward in this form. I really like that it's starting as just this little tiny spark, but that spark has made it all the way to your like solar plexus here, and it's just growing and growing and growing. So there's something you're really inspired about. You're finding inspiration from other places, from other people, from other sources, in new lanes and new exciting adventures that you haven't yet gone down, that you're like, okay, I'm just going to get started. I'm just going to leap in. I'm just going to try it. So really follow that inspiration, see where it goes, because it's an energy that really is going to help you and bring you towards really good paths this month for sure, especially since this is a blessing and a card of an energy most in your favor. It's definitely one to continue to follow towards. So wherever that trickle of inspiration is, see where it leads you, see where it bleeds into different versions and parts of yourself and the skills that you could continue to learn and grow and find more desire and ambition within. So let's continue. I'm going to go ahead and pull you a card now looking into relationships. If you have a particular relationship you want to look into, feel free to send that energy forward. But we're going to look into the overarching energy coming forward for you for the month of December around relationships, whether that's family, friends, a partner or more partners, whether that's coworkers or others. We're going to see where that's lining up for you. So group 2 here. The energy of relationships right now. Confidence, be what you want to see, as well as clarity. Bright paths of understanding will open. So the clarity feels really related to that Hierophant, that feeling of like someone coming in, clearing your path, showing you the way, giving the experience that you need, showing you, if we have a lot of passion, sometimes we don't always have, not necessarily that you don't have the resources, but that you have to maybe seek them out a little bit. And that's coming forward with that clarity. It feels like someone is clearing that path for you, because you definitely have the confidence. You have confidence coming forward here as well with Foxglove. Be what you want to see. And Foxglove can have sort of an energy of mystery and mythical kind of feelings towards it. So there's this feeling too of like stepping into a path, into like a little grove, into a little hidden secret and playing around with it and getting confident and building your confidence before sharing it with the world. So there is this feeling too of maybe wanting to talk to only a few friends about this exciting new desire that you have, or new adventure that you're taking on, this new skill that you want to learn, because maybe you don't feel confident yet to be able to share it with everyone. You want to build that confidence just with the people that are closest to you, or even strangers if you don't really feel confident doing it towards those particular people. But I do think that they are in your corner here with that clarity and confidence. So it really is a good time in relationships as well this month. So really, really positive and optimistic cards so far. Let's go ahead and pull you 2 more, and then we'll pull some charms to finish off your reading. But now we're going to look into Sagittarius season, which is perfect for everything you have coming forward here already, because Sagittariuses can be very adventurous. When they have a desire or something that's on their mind, they are going to point their arrow and aim true. So that's the feeling that I get here with your particular energy that I want to look into and see where you're focusing your energy, or where you can continue to aim your bow and arrow at this time, because it's something that would be of great benefit to you. So, or bring you on a new adventure at least. So let's see what that new adventure or new focus is for you for Sagittarius season. Group 2. So you have 7 of ink, illumination, accomplishment, realization, and pride. Which illuminating, like manuscripts and such, are really like the final touches, the beautiful gold leaf, the gorgeous illustrations, the typography and all of that. It's all the beautiful aesthetics that really bring something together and illuminate the page. So let's go ahead and see what your other one is that's coming forward here for Sagittarius season. Group 2. What else is coming forward here for you, group 2? So you have the 3 of thread, knot, promises, bonds, and remembrance. Interesting. So this feels like, again, like working together with other people. This came up a bit in group 1 as well, but it kind of feels like right now is a really good time as well to communicate those ideas to the people that you feel most confident to bring those ideas forward with, to build that confidence. There's this feeling of like wanting to do that. And also maybe the writing or the speech or the reason why you're aiming towards this is because of something related to a bond or to a promise that you've had towards someone, or a promise towards yourself that you haven't been very truthful with or haven't been very aimed towards. So maybe there's a promise that you have made to yourself or to another person that you really want to uphold, and that's happening right now is something to continue to focus on over this particular season of Sagittarius season. Accomplishment, realization, pride as well tells me that you're probably close to finishing whatever it is, finishing this promise, or coming to having it come to fruition, because you do have that accomplishment, that realization that maybe you've realized you're like, oh wait, I haven't been working on this. I've been so focused on something else, focusing on these new skills, focusing on what you're inspired about, that you may have kind of moved your aim in a different direction. So making sure that you finish up those promises, finish up those particular threads would be very important at this time as well. So let's go ahead and finish off your reading by pulling some charms to get those last little details. Do feel free to send your energy in, have a little conversation with them, and I'll pull some for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom you in here. Looks like most of them fell here on the inspiration, but towards a little bit of the promises, bonds, and remembrance, you do have the bat, and you got the bat upside down, and the bat usually represents our intuition. It also can represent spirit guides or wanting to work with particular natural guides in your environment. But when I'm looking at this one, because it's upside down, it tells me too that like you're not very intuitive about this right now, or again, it isn't your focus, so you haven't really been giving it your all, and it may be related to a promise that you made to a particular spirit guide in some way, especially since it's falling between these two cards. You also have the shark, and the shark also is upside down, as well as the dog. In this case, the dog, I usually think of something that's small but very mighty in this particular breed. It also can represent a friend or loyalty, again, pointing towards the promises and bonds. All of them really are. And the shark also represents a like something that has gotten like a false narrative. Like sharks are scary and they are dangerous, but they're not as dangerous as humans are towards sharks if you like look at the statistics. So there is this feeling of like a spun narrative that isn't true. And so it also is like maybe you have this narrative in your mind that you have been working towards this, you have been getting closer on it, but really in reality you could be maybe putting in more effort, or you could be putting in more inspiration, or putting more time and effort towards this particular spirit guide or this particular person, or promise to yourself or others. It feels like it's been stretched thin to exactly how this is kind of working itself out. You also have the spring forward charm, and that's falling between accomplishment, realization, and pride, so finishing something up and springing forward towards a new project, towards the new thing that you're very excited and inspired and driven towards. So basically the big message here with the charms that they're really trying to highlight is that you do have some things you have to wrap up before you can really begin this. Yes, you can start getting your footing into it. Yes, you can start getting inspired and having that drive towards it and getting prepped for it. But until you've finished these promises, until you've finished these threads that are still kind of hanging loose, you're going to have a more difficult time trying to navigate all of it together. So definitely something to kind of put this in priority and come to this afterwards. So overall, those are all of the charms and cards that I have here for you, group 2. I hope that this has been useful and helpful to you in navigating your month of December and Sagittarius season. Again, happy birthday to anyone who's Sagittarius out there. And if it was, definitely be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below what you saw, if you saw something differently or if you saw something in a different way. I would love to hear your thoughts and how it particularly resonated for you. And also, I put out new pick a card readings every single Monday, so if you're interested in more pick a card readings like this one, I put those out, and you are welcome to subscribe to see them as they come out in real time. And feel free to hit the bell if you want to be notified of when those come out. And also, I put out and sprinkle in some art magic videos as well as charm casting, so feel free to check those out as well if you're interested in either of those. And like I mentioned earlier, I do have different offerings, so if you're interested in getting your own private reading, diving deeper into any particular subject or topic that's been on your mind for a while, I would love to read for you. I don't currently have them open in terms of until after January. That's when I will start up doing my snail mail readings and offerings again after the busy holiday season, but you're also always welcome to reach out. Let me know if you're interested, let me know what you're thinking, and we can get things ordered in the meantime, as I would love to send a snail mail reading your way. New Year's readings are right around the corner, so definitely feel free to reach out if that's something you're interested in for the new year, going over the entire year as a whole, or bridging the gap between years. And also, if you're interested in getting your own custom charm casting cloth or your own custom sigil or design or stamp for your art magic, feel free to reach out for that as well, as I would love to carve a stamp, a rubber stamp for you to use over and over again in your Book of Shadows, your petitions, your grimoires, or even just your bullet journal, however you wish. So definitely feel free to reach out if that's something you're interested in as well, because it's one of my favorite things to do. So with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and close off your reading. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you decide to choose this particular piece of Sodalite, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be exploring your month of December as a whole for those overarching messages, into the nitty-gritty for relationships and blessings coming forward. And we're also going to be playing around with Sagittarius season and seeing what's coming forward for you there, for the adventurous and very driven part of that season. So if you are a Sagittarius, this is going to apply to you, and happy birthday to you. But even if you aren't, this is going to apply to everyone, because it is an energy in which and a season in which we are all encompassing. So today we are going to be using the charms to look into all of that, as well as the oracle decks here, and the tarot deck of choice being the Under the Oak Tarot. It is one of my favorite decks right now. I've just been really feeling it, and it also has that wintry energy, which is perfect because it is absolutely snowing outside my window over there right now. So the snowy energy is here. But before we get into the deck itself, all of the information on the different decks and supplies I have here will be listed down below in the description, so feel free to check that out, as well as the different offerings that I provide for snail mail readings, custom charm casting cloths, and rubber stamps. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out. But let's go ahead and get started here and pull you some cards for your month of December. Feel free to get yourself cozy and settled and comfy for this. Feel free to put your energy in, and I'll pull some for you. So group 3, what do you got going on, group 3, for the month of December? Group 3, the month of December. Oof, got a lot flying out here, guys. So you've got the Two of Pentacles showing up here. I love this little card, it's so cute. So you have the Two of Pentacles. The World card definitely makes sense for December. And then you also have here one more card, so let's go ahead and pull that one. Group 3 for the month of December. What else is coming forward here for the month of December for group 3? Ooh, you also have the Tower. Wow, interesting energies, because you're kind of between two different things. We've got the Two of Pentacles showing up here with the energy of trying to find a balance, and the two things that you're balancing between, because there's like this back and forth elliptical energy that's going on here, needing to find balance, needing to find your way. What you're trying to counterbalance right now is the Tower in combination with the World. And the Tower is obviously a card that showcases quite a lot going on in this card. And this also is a card to showcase tremendous change, something that's coming forward and really shaking your boots, really shaking the foundation of something you've built. Whether that's something literally that you've built, or if it's something more figuratively or emotionally that you've built an emotional bond with someone, a particular foundation of a relationship, or shaking up the seams of routines and particular behaviors that you've kind of found yourself in that need to be shooken up. This also can represent, and a lot of the time does represent, something that's outside of your control. It wasn't something that you did or something that you entirely on your own contributed towards, but rather something that has just sort of shown itself up, right? Like, this was just a lightning strike on an oak tree. Like, there was nothing you could do about it. It was going to happen regardless. And so in this case, you have something coming in, creating this tremendous change, completely changing everything. And then you also have the World card next to it, which represents a very much more sunny energy. In this case, the World can represent clarity. It represents understanding. It represents coming full circle on a particular thing. If you think of the tarot deck, right, this is the last card before the minors start, the last major arcana card, which represents coming through the entire journey of the Fool and coming out the other end. So it really represents coming full circle with something, wrapping up loose ends, finishing something. So this represents a lot in terms of timing. And in this case, as we're heading into December, for a lot of us, right, that represents the end of a year and the start of a new one. Wrapping up those last little details, those last little things before you begin anew. But even though you have this energy of wanting to wrap things up, finish things up, get it all done, what you're having to counterbalance against is something coming in and completely throwing your expectations to the side. I keep getting this feeling to take the top card, so I'm going to go ahead and take it as well. So you also have the Ace of Wands as well as the Ace of Pentacles coming forward. Interesting. I'm going to put them on both sides. Actually, I'm going to put it this way. I don't know why, I just had this feeling that I needed to pull two more cards. So you have both the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, and aces represent a new beginning, a seed of its particular suit. So in all of this happening, right, a big oak tree, think of like the seeds of the oak tree. Like, it's still going to continue to grow a new foundation, a new tree, a new growth, but that does require a new seed. It does require starting again. And then in this case, you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Wands is all about finding that flame and kindling that flame that's already within you, especially since this is just a candle. It's not like a roaring bonfire. It represents just really needing to center yourself as well, with the Ace of Pentacles here too, of a crystal. So if we think of these as little seeds, it's like growing a much better foundation that actually meets your desires, meets your needs, meets what would actually make you feel that warm and fuzzy sensation that actually makes you feel secure and safe and comfortable, and starting anew from that frame of mind. Because everything else that you have coming in here, right, we're like wrapping things up or finishing things, and then suddenly something comes in and rolls all over that. And because of that, I feel like it's not going to be something so major that like you can't rebuild right away, because you are getting the Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles immediately after that. So even though this is going to be a difficult readjustment, I do think that you're going to like kick right back into it immediately and like build from the pieces immediately. So it's kind of like when a storm comes in and rolls in and it kind of like throws everything off. It's the people who like get out the next day and just start shoveling up the debris and starting again. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here from you, is that you're balancing right back in, you're whipping right back into it, even though it was a difficult situation in the moment. I think your recovery is coming forward quite well here. So I really want to look a little bit deeper. I know I pulled a lot of cards for you guys, so we'll see what else is coming forward in the form of a blessing. This is an energy that's a blessing on its way in from a spirit guide that you work with, or any other type of deity or spirit. Or you can see this as an energy most in your favor this month, an energy that you can really count on. So let's see what that is for you. Wow, group 3 here. Not had that happen with this deck before. That was crazy. So it kind of like bent the card, which is fine. But like it like bent it this way right into the transformation, almost like right a butterfly is supposed to bend this way, and yet you got it bending, you know, the opposite direction, which makes me think of like that tower. It's completely changing your point of view. It's completely changing the way that you see the world, or the way that you're putting your footing down, the way you're building your foundation, right? Instead of building up, maybe you're building in the sky, maybe you're building underground, maybe you're building in a very different foundational way, and that needed to transform, it needed to morph. So transformation is something to really lean into this month. It's something to really lean into hard, to continue to recover, balance, and find a new center of balance for yourself after a really difficult big change comes in and sweeps you up off your feet, sweeps that foundation up off your feet. So like I said, I keep saying this like it's something really, really huge and really intense, but because of the recovery time here, I really feel like it's something that's going to be like a really annoying inconvenience as well, or a big delay. It doesn't necessarily have to be a foundation, but because you have this transformation here, I do think it's going to transform you regardless, this event. So I want to see what else is coming forward in terms of relationships this month. This could be any particular relationship you want to look into, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it more on an overarching kind of energy. So this could be for family, friends, co-workers, bosses, partners, anything like that we're going to be seeing, as well as spirit guides and relationships even to yourself. And we're going to see what the energy is there for you for the month of December. So you have resignation, say goodbye to what you no longer need. So this could be a foundation that's shaking up within relationships. Let's see what else there is here. You have strength as well coming forward here. With more effort will get you what you want, but I'm seeing it more as like the strength card of needing to work through a difficult situation and having to have the bravery and courage to face it even when it's difficult. So there is something showing up here, transforming even in relationships. So that could even be a highlight as to what this Tower card is speaking to, is that maybe it's related to a relationship in which you're tying up ends, or your perspective on this person or a relationship is drastically changing after this particular month. It doesn't necessarily always mean changing in a negative way, but because you have the say goodbye, and because you have new beginnings coming forward and transformation, it could even be grief or other things coming forward here. So it's definitely a month to prepare yourself and to maybe have a really hard look at your relationships in your life too, a very honest look at the relationships in your life and how you could better them, or which ones are worth or not worth your time anymore. So let's go ahead and look at Sagittarius season. Again, happy birthday to anyone who is a Sagittarius out there. But this is a season all about adventure. It's about putting your focus towards something and really making something happen. There's a lot of very fiery energy that comes with that Sagittarius energy. So I want to see what comes forward for you in terms of something you could really point your aim towards, something that you could really be focusing towards right now that's highlighted for you. So could be a new adventure, could be something to do with healing right now with everything that you've had come forward. Let's see. You have the Child, vulnerability, needs, and potential. Love this card, especially because you have so many aces here, and a new beginning, a new transformation, a new opportunity for you to continue to grow. Maybe even starting over this relationship entirely, building from the start up. Something coming in there, but also let's see what else comes along with it. Group 3 for the month of December. Ooh. You also have here the festival, celebration, fun, material goods, and I'm also putting it next to the world card, and that is a card all about like finishing up loose ends. So a lot of us are probably celebrating some sort of big holiday, festival, events, particular celebrations that are going on, and so that is also showing up here as something to be focusing your energy towards, as finishing off the year, finishing off that holiday season, and seeing where it takes you. But at the same time, you're also going through major transformations, so be very gentle with yourself. I'm very curious to see what the charms have to say to give us some more information, if we get anything more on the transformation and tower card. So let's pull some of those as well. Here we go. Group 3 here. Feel free to, connect with them, and we'll see. Okay, so first off, what I think is really interesting with this transformation that's come forward next to everything else is you got the mask charm. This could be, putting a mask on, not showing your true feelings, showing your true self, being honest with yourself. But because it fell this way, it tells me that you've taken the mask off. And that is what is transforming. Maybe you're not masking anymore. Maybe this, like I said, is either a relationship, or it could be how you are approaching the relationship, and that maybe you're not being completely honest, or you have these routines and rituals and behaviors that you have with this person that you want to change things up. There could be something going on there. But it does require a lot of vulnerability. It does require a lot of understanding and a place of no judgment. So if you don't feel like you can be able to do those things, then maybe that's why the relationship is drastically changing as well. You also have here on the child for vulnerability and needs and potential. You have the paperclip. I was going to say safety pin. The paperclip, and the paperclip represents something that is temporary. It's held together temporarily. It's not a strong hold. It's not like glue. And so in case or because of what you have coming up here, it does showcase to me that this relationship has felt very temporary, or it began very temporarily. And now that it's grown, maybe you have to start fresh again from a new perspective of wanting to grow a much stronger foundation. So again, this doesn't always have to be a negative change, but it can be that just things, because you do have the overwhelm charm, things just feel very overwhelming, and you have to be able to build a better foundation from the ground up, because maybe that relationship is no longer being able to work the way that it had been at the start, because maybe it was very casual, or you didn't have like a strong foundation from the start, but you want to strengthen it. There could be things happening there where it could be a very positive and optimistic change versus a negative one. Other things that are happening here, or a more difficult one, could be positive in the end. You have the camel charm showing up here as well over on the celebrations part of things, the gift giving, the goods, all of that's coming in here. And that makes sense too, because the camel, right, is weathering a desert, weathering a difficult time, and yet they're still being able to provide for themselves and be able to provide for others as well with the water on their back. So there is also that information coming forward here that, like, even though you're going through all of this on your own, or not necessarily on your own, but you're going through all of this, it doesn't mean that you can't still celebrate and enjoy things as well, that this can still be very nourishing and a good time too, even if other things on the sidelines are going on too, if that makes sense. Like, you're able to balance both. So overall, those are all the charms and cards that I have here for you, group 3. You had a very overarching messages of like going through big foundational changes, whether it's in a relationship or whether it's just needing a new beginning with someone or something, or a behavior or ritual that you've been moving through, as well as wanting to work through the holiday season of the end of the year. All of that coming forward here as part of your month and part of Sagittarius season for you. If you did find this reading useful and helpful to you, definitely be sure to give this video a like, and let me know in the comments down below what you saw. I would love to hear. And if you're interested in more pick a card readings like this one, I put out new readings every single Monday that you can check out, and subscribe to be notified of when those videos come out by hitting the bell. And if you're interested in the snail mail readings that I do, where I send a letter to you in the mail, it is typewritten on a vintage typewriter, it's wax sealed closed for your eyes only, and dives deeply into any question or query that you've had on your mind for a while, then definitely feel free to reach out for that. I have more information down below. Feel free to reach out for more information if you have a difficult time finding anything. I love to answer questions and help in any way that I can. And there's lots of helpful and honest reviews over on my Instagram as well in my highlights. I currently only have those open to order right now, but everything that gets ordered right now will be shipped out at the beginning or towards January. I also create custom charm casting cloths as well as particular custom designed stamps, rubber stamps that you can use in your art magic, in your rituals, in your petitions, and in your bullet journal if you'd like to, or grimoire. All of that is available to you if that's something you're interested in, so feel free to reach out, as I absolutely love doing those. So with that all said, thank you so much for being here with me today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.